Welcome back for another influential episode of Motivational Monday. Thank y'all so much for your continued support since day one. I'm your host, Pierre Hendricks. I'm joined with another powerful individual, man. A good friend of mine from college, Mr. Cam Rambo. What's up, my bro?
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me today.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Hey, man, you know, it's season 3.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, man.
Congratulations on your engagement, too, man.
Man, I really appreciate that,
That's
man.
what's up,
I really
man.
appreciate that. Blessings.
Thank you. Well, we in season 3, 2021. For the people who don't know you out here, man, just give them a little spiel about yourself.
Absolutely. I'm Kaam Sartin. IG handle is at Camo Rambo. I'm into motivational speaking, also fitness, and a variety of different things as well. I like to think of myself as a jack of all trades, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Black father on the road to being married. Shout out my fiance Keisha, and yeah.
That's what's up, man. One thing I say about my brother, man, this is one disciplined individual, man. He lives by that 1%.
1%
these days.
That's it.
So tell us a little bit about your business. You said you're a personal trainer, right?
Yeah, so as of right now, you know, with COVID, it's a little crazy right now. But yeah, I've been working on my online platform, so really into doing a lot of online training, pushing workouts, and allowing individuals to have the capabilities of, you know, working at home. Because, again, with COVID, everyone's not, they don't feel too safe with being, especially in like a gym with a lot of people breathing hard and all types of fluids and stuff.
Not clean.
Exactly. You know, you really can't depend on people to clean behind themselves and do what they need to do.
That's true.
So really started to segmentate my business portion of that to more people can doing things at home. And been working on a few things, you know, don't want to speak too much on it, but you know, definitely we have that online platform ready and available to anyone that needs it.
Stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Yep. One thing I will say about being a personal trainer, you deal with a lot of people going through a lot of stuff. And you kind of work more along the lines, you kind of like the therapist in a sense too.
Right.
On top of that, and you you establish the ecosystem of discipline for people. So could you kind of like walk me through of how you get your day started when you're approaching like, you know, having a new client or whatnot?
Yeah, so when it comes to a new client, first and foremost, we have to have a sit down. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical sit down, but just a conversation. I like to try to gauge in to where the mindset of individual is, because with me, this isn't something that I'm looking at. How many people can I bring in? How much money can I make off of it? It's more along the lines of who's really serious. Because what I feel like the disconnect between the client and the trainer relationship nowadays is, first and foremost, everyone's a trainer now. Quote unquote.
That's true.
You know, you have your waist shapers and your body shapers and your tummy tuck tees and all this other stuff, man. You know, it's
your Brazilian butt lifts.
Right, exactly. Women going down to Miami to get their bodies done. I'm not body shaming, you know, but at the same time, I just believe in hard work, you know, and having sitting down with the individual, engaging to see what their thought process is like, hey, you do understand that this is a journey. Not only that, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon.
Amen.
Being fit it goes a lot deeper than just physical fitness. It's mental, it's spiritual, it's therapy, it's a lot of different things, and these are type of attributes and traits that you can apply on a day in and day out basis to make sure that you're zen. You know, so again, just want to make sure that we're both on the even playing field, making sure that you're not wasting your time or your money. And more importantly, I'm not wasting my time either, because I value my time, you know, very highly.
I'm sure you encounter some people that come there to waste your time, man, from time to time.
Of course, man, but you know, at the same time, it's not about the money, so I don't have a problem firing a client. You know, you coming in consistently.
You fire your client?
I have fired some clients. Like, this isn't going to work. You know, we have a designated time for you to come in. You coming in, you know, 10, 20 minutes late.
You missed half the workout.
Exactly. And then you looking at me, it's like, then we got to do the 10-minute warm up. Then you have 20 minutes to get it in. Oh, I paid for an hour. Well, you didn't come in until late. You know, we have to do a warm up before you come in. You know, just making sure that it is a mutual understanding and that it's a win-win situation. You're not hiring me to basically deal with your bullshit or deal with anything else. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to help change your life physically, mentally, spiritually. We can go all down that avenue, but it needs to be a respectable relationship on both ends.
And that's important too with working out, man. One thing I can say about myself, like, I kind of use me working out as God showing me how to practice faith.
Right.
Because just the belief in something that you can't see, but you're working towards it. And I know a lot of times people get into training, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to Mexico in a couple months, so let me try to get right without really disciplining myself, trying to got it, like, I guess the cheat route.
Right.
And I feel like that has to do with a lot of people with life.
Right.
It's a lot of goals and stuff that we want to achieve, but we kind of want that instant
gratification.
I want it right now, without really understanding that I got to have faith in what I want to do, as well as I have to write it down, and it's a marathon. I have to take time and time to get it, and it's like you got to work at it, you got to chip away. People don't understand the fact of life is nothing but you chipping away at your prosperity.
It's a process.
It is, and you chipping away towards your prosperity, man.
Right, facts.
Yep.
And you made a very valid point. We live in a society now, especially with being millennials, we're used to everything being microwave. Easy to put it in, boop, minute and a half, you have a meal.
Yep.
That's not how life works. It might take years for you to pop off and be in consistent action. It's like a snowball effect.
Yep.
You have to keep going, keep pushing. The snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger
Yep.
until you get to that hill and you push the snowball down, and you're accomplishing your goals.
Yep.
And I mean, it's something that I preach, on the daily. It's every day is a refresh, and every day you should be looking to get 1% better, even if it isn't physically, mentally.
Yep.
Really understanding to have that self-actualization moment to say, you know what, such and such happened yesterday, or a few hours ago. How could I have handled that situation better?
Yep.
And not only recognizing that, but applying it and applying that process on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah, recognize is only just one part.
That's right.
So let me talk. We're gonna reverse back and talk a little bit about, like, before you got to this point in your life, man. Was there ever a time, I guess, from the age of like 13 to now, where you felt like, I need to grow up. I need to be more real with myself. I need to sit down and write a plan.
Yeah.
So at what point in your life did I say you overcome or had an adversity?
Well, I would say life is full of adversity, of course, man. But, really it didn't start sinking in until maybe after college, a few years after college. Shout out to Georgia Southern, real GSU. Hey. But yeah, man. I mean, of course, growing up playing sports and life is really easy at that point. All you have to do is go to school, do what you need to do, and it's simple. College, we partied hard.
Yep.
We worked hard, we partied hard because we still got our degrees.
Yep.
But stepping outside of that realm, the real world, bro, this is real shit.
Yeah.
And it took for me to really hit rock bottom, and I would say that happened. I turned 32 next month, so I would say that it happened maybe around 28, 27. Okay. And when I say rock bottom, I don't mean in like a depression, but more of a rock bottom to where I depleted all my funds.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know where, how I was gonna make ends meet.
Yeah.
And that's when it really resonated within myself that, it's time to, you need to get serious. Exactly.
Man up, yo.
You need to get serious about your life, get serious about a plan of action. Where are you going? What do you want? And not only that, align myself mentally, physically, and spiritually with God. And, He will take you there. And after I was able to rid myself of everything that I had going on, rid myself of all the distractions. It's easy to be distracted here in Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
We're like the mecca of distractions.
The mecca of distractions, and it's really pick your poison.
Yep.
Which kind of distraction do you want?
Yeah.
But I had to understand that those distractions have been there, and I played into them for long enough. Now it's time to elevate. It's time to go to another level and to step into my calling. And once I started that process, it was like instant.
Wow.
Blessings started rolling in. Phone calls started rolling in of being able to create different streams of income, to where now I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I know that the pandemic, it hurt a lot of people. I was one of those individuals that, of course, lost my job due to it. But at the same time, that wasn't my only source of income outside of training.
That's what you did earlier.
Exactly, because I aligned myself, and I also understand that I need to value myself, not only that, but also my time. And make sure that if I'm spending time focusing on something, that I'm reaping the benefits and that it's going to give me return on my investment.
Yes. And one thing that you said earlier was the fact of the distraction that you had around you, and the fact of you playing into them. And I had a guest here earlier, probably a couple weeks ago. She was just saying the fact of like the life that we live, we don't realize that the distraction that we're having is solely what we do. We're putting these distractions in our life.
Right.
These are all fostered because of our own, because we're avoiding stuff that we need to take care of ahead of time.
Right.
And because of that, our mental starts to be affected, our health starts to become affected, and then we don't even eat.
Right.
And then we lose our connections with vices and with people.
Right.
That is our alignment to get where we need to get to.
Right.
Man, I think that is so important. And I know just a testimony of my end, like college showed me a lot because it gave me the exposure of people from so many different demographics. And it led me to understand, like, everybody has their own level of struggle.
Right.
It's all about how you choose to, I guess, respond from those struggles.
Right.
And don't amplify that. Just acknowledge it and move on.
Exactly.
And sit down and just be patient, man. For real, man.
Exactly. You know, and like you said, it's all about rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get, it's easier to say than do, of course, because if it was easy, we'll be a lot more successful people around,
Yeah.
you know, but the fact of the matter is that everyone goes through their own battles. We all have our own demons and devils, but it's like you need to, you have to learn and you have to apply. And even going back to, you know, the distractions things is that a lot of our distractions are internal and external. When I say external, it could be your friends, your family, and not saying that they're bad people, but it's a distraction to how much you're actually feeding into it. How much attention are you putting into it? You know, and I had to step back from my friends. You know, I had to step back. You know, I ain't talked to you for a minute, but it wasn't anything that was like, nah, you know, I just don't fuck with them no more. It's more along the lines of, let me take a step back. I need to zen. I need to clear. I need to take a purge. I need to, you know, rid everything. Let me get alignment, and then I can step back in. And then even when stepping back in, understanding to take it in doses. You know, even though I call all my bros, we all bros, but it's different levels to it. You got your dudes that you go out and party with. That might just be it. You got your people that you might talk with more on a personal level of
mental health.
Mental health. Let me tell you what I got going on with my life or what I'm struggling with, and you share that with me. And let's just be able to speak on that, because that's, and as a black man, bro, you know, that's something that it's not talked about a lot.
I was just about to say that, man.
It's not talked about.
We all struggle with it. We all struggle with it.
Exactly. And, you know, just understanding that it's okay to come out and tell your friends, you know, what you're struggling with. It's okay to cry. It's okay to tell your boys that you love them and not mean it in a homosexual manner.
But
you know,
you mean it. You
have
like,
compassion
for them.
Exactly. Like, I love you, dog. Like, I care for you. You know what I'm saying?
I love you too, bro.
I love you. Exactly, man. And no shame.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any hit to my masculinity or any of that. But we need to work on that as a society.
Yeah, I guess we just taught to be that lead with our pride without realizing we actually have pride with ourselves. And because of that, we'll never identify the negative aspects that we live.
Right.
But one thing I will say, and I kind of want you to talk a little bit about just being a father.
Yeah.
And just you being a father, you're going through COVID and you lost your job.
Yeah.
And you were good.
Yeah.
You know how many men that can't say that, oh, I lost all my job with no other responsibilities.
Right.
So talk to us, I guess, to the younger men that, you know, who have children, who don't.
Yeah.
Just being a father, man, and still choosing your ambition to lead your life still.
So first and foremost, hey Logan, that's my daughter. She just turned 9. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, right? And man, it was crazy is that I had a child in college. Like I was coming in my junior year, 2 years out from graduating, is when her mother was pregnant.
Wow.
You know, and my life changed. And you know, really, it's understanding when it's time to, when you do have a child come into your life, regardless if it's planned or not planned. You're going to have to put yourself aside for the betterment of that child, to be able to provide for your child mentally, physically, spiritually, from any standpoint.
And by example.
And lead by example, you know. I'm not saying that clicked in instantly for me. It took some stumbling, you know. It took from a few scraping my knee, getting bloody. It took a lot of conversations, even with her mother. You know, I thought that I was doing enough, and she was basically like, "Listen, you're not doing enough." Instead of me being angry about it, there was time for me to step outside of myself and look at it from her aspect. You know, and it was like, you know what, maybe you should be doing more. You know, it takes 2 people to have a child, and just being able to do that, it helped me become a better man, be a better provider, a better leader. And not only that, to speak these types of truths to other young fathers, you know, especially African American fathers, you know, because you already know the stigmatism that we get. And more importantly, it's about loving your child and loving yourself, and going and making sure that if anything was to happen, that they would be able to be provided for.
Yeah.
And this is rolling into your question, your statement about being okay, being good through COVID. And
after losing your job.
After losing it, right. Unemployment was straight, I'm not gonna shit on that. It was nice. But at the same time, after hitting rock bottom before COVID hit, that put fear into my heart, bro. And with that fear, it motivated me to say I would never depend on one stream of income ever again. And that is what helped me to understanding how to systematically divide my time into a day into where I can maximize my time and maximize my dollar within the shortest amount of time span without having to work 10 to 12 hours a day to make X amount of dollars to where I can do it everything in 6 hours. And establishing that type of thinking helped me to drive in continuous income during COVID. So, we were blessed. That's all glory to God, allowing me to have that enlightenment.
Was it something where you meditated first and then you just wrote down like your day from time by minute or hour by hour? And you just approached and ranked it where it was like, okay, well, I really probably don't need to be doing this. I might not need to go out or smoke hookah for these 2 hours or whatnot,
It wasn't more about planning the day out. It was more on manifesting what you want at a broader spectrum. So say, for instance, my goal at that time was I want to be making X amount of dollars coming in after taxes on a monthly basis, which then of course will accumulate to yearly and then things along those lines. And I'm really big into meditation and manifestation and understanding your thoughts. That's what the purge was allowed me to do, was just to zone in on that.
To really understand your thoughts.
Exactly. And when you're able to have that concentrated thought and you're able to speak these things into existence, the vibrations within the atmosphere, a little quantum physics in there. I hope I'm not losing y'all. This is a real thing, quantum physics. The vibrations within the universe start to break up to where the doors start to open. And that only happens when you start to align your wires, your mental wires, to where they've been crossed the whole time. You might have been looking here and looking there and focusing on this. And it's like, no.
And wondering why you got so much stuff on your mind.
Exactly.
Like, God, I can't even freaking sit down. I'm thinking about so many things at once.
Exactly. And even on another spectrum, not only on your mind, but on your spirit. So many people don't understand that we live, it's this physical that you can touch. But more on a higher sense, it's a lot spiritual more than anything. The physical is the last piece of the puzzle. It's really your spirit, the light that you have that allows you to track the things that you want into your life, like-minded individuals, and things along those lines.
Yeah, that's real, man. I appreciate that, bro. So is there any type of, keys to success that you live by or that you model yourself by? Yeah,
I mean, I don't read as much as I used to. I need to pick that back up more, just being honest. But during those times to where, I felt like I was lost or just losing, I started reading things by Eric Thomas and, Wayne Dyer. Yeah, man, definitely check out Wayne Dyer too. He's an old Dalai Lama yoga guy, who really helped me to
Wayne Dyer?
Wayne Dyer,
yeah. Wayne Dyer, I'm gonna check into that.
Rest in peace, Wayne. But yeah, man, it really helped me to put things into perspective, to feeling like I didn't have any control of what was going on, and feeling like a victim, to being able to take the steering wheel of my car. This is your car, and to drive the direction that you want to go down, down the roadmap. So I mean, and even in regards to my best practices, my day starts at 3:30 every morning, Monday through Friday. Not the fact that I have something to do, at 3 in the morning, but more along the lines of is that I found that that's the quietest time in my house in the world, you know, and that's really when I like to get into alignment. I'll crack open my Bible, read some scriptures. I have a whole manifestation journal. I'll underline some verses that might have spoken to me, write it in my manifestation journal, and elaborate on that. And after that, then I'm setting probably 5 to 10 bullet points of the manifestations. This is what I want to happen this year. Bigger goals. This is what I want to happen this month. This is what I want to happen today. And consistently doing that, it keeps me in alignment, and it also keeps me accountable to myself, because the next morning, you see that page that you written down, and it's like, how much of this did you accomplish on the day? And
or did you even focus on doing it?
Did you focus on doing it? And if you didn't, then it's another time to have a sit down with yourself. Are you serious about achieving these goals that you wrote down, or you only did it because it sounds good? And once you're able to step out of that sense of doing things because it might look good or sound good, or this is what everyone else is doing, and to really solidify yourself in that thought, then that's when things start to happen for you.
Manifestation is the mind. Accountability is the action behind that.
Amen. And
that's the biggest thing with life. You're going to manifest. People manifest every day with their dreams, but how are they holding themselves accountable? What action are they doing behind that?
Exactly.
Man? And that's a powerful thing, bro. I really appreciate you coming here and talking, man.
All right. And if anything I can leave you all with is, first and foremost, God is love. Love everyone that you come and encounter with. And not only that, understanding that love is just not from a romantic standpoint. It's respecting yourself as a human and respecting other human beings regardless of their views. And lastly, you won't be perfect. You will never be perfect. It's more along the lines of the senses of applying now 1% each day, getting better with 1% each day. It's a step at a time, and if you do these things consistently, that's when change will start to happen.
Shout out to your IG handle. And
also, if you want to look me at on IG, it's at Camo Rambo, spelled Kaamo Rambo, Rambo. Go ahead and hit that follow. I will make sure to follow back as well. Appreciate y'all.